Welcome to the Creating a Custom Layout lesson. In this lesson, we'll cover the topics listed here, including how to create custom layouts, copying and designing a new layout block, and applying the layout to new screens. We'll start with a brief introduction about layouts and their importance for designing the UI of your applications, followed by a demonstration in OutSystems Service Studio. Then, we'll finish the lesson with a recap on how to create a custom layout and some rules that are important to follow. In OutSystems, a layout is a block that defines the look and feel and elements that are common for multiple screens. If you have screens sharing the same layout, it will allow you to maintain a higher level of consistency when designing them. You can design layouts with static content that's shared by all screens and placeholders for the developer to fill in on each screen that uses the layout. When developing an application in OutSystems, it might make sense to create a new custom layout that will be the common layout for a set of screens in the app. The easiest way to create a new layout is to copy and paste an existing layout. Then, change the static elements and placeholders on the new layout to meet the needs of your screens. As a best practice, the creation of a new layout should be done within a template. The reason for this is that the new layout will always be available in the template when you create a new application. Now that we've covered these concepts, I'll show you how to create a custom layout step by step in OutSystems Service Studio. Here in Service Studio, I've already created an application based on the phone theme. The name of the application is App Layout, and for the next step, I'll create a module for this application. There are three types of modules that you can create: mobile, blank, and extension. I'll choose the mobile option and give the module a similar name of app_layout. Once I've named the module, then I can click the Create Module button to create and open the new module in Service Studio. Here on the home screen of our application, we have the typical phone layout that consists of a header section at the top and a bottom bar menu section. The objective of the next few steps is to create a new custom layout that we can apply to new screens that would only include the bottom bar menu section. For the first step of this process, I'll open the Common UI flow and select the layout block. Then I'll right-click and choose Copy from the Options menu to make a copy and then paste a copy of this layout block into the UI flow. Then I'll give it the name of Layout No Header. Now that I've created this new layout, I'll open it and begin to customize it for the specific needs of my application. I'll start by opening the widget tree so that it will be easier to see and work with the different sections. Here we have the menu, screen, and offline data sync containers that are nested within the layout container. For the first step of customizing this layout, I'm going to delete the menu container. I'll right-click and choose Delete from the Options menu. Now, in the TrueChange window, I can see a warning message. This message is notifying us that there's a Hide Menu Client action that's no longer used since we've deleted the header. So, I'll switch back to the UI flow and find that action under the Layout No Header block. At this point, I'll also need to delete that action. The top menu in our application may or may not be visible depending on if the user has selected it. Now that we've removed the header, we no longer need the action associated with that menu. The TrueChange window now no longer shows a warning message, and we can continue on with our work. Now I'll go back to the widget tree to continue customizing my layout. I'll open the screen container and start by deleting the header section. Then I'll also delete the pull_to_refresh if statement. Notice that now we have new warning messages in the TrueChange window. Once again, we'll need to delete some of the actions, events, and parameters that are no longer necessary. So I'll delete the action handler for the pull_to_refresh. And then also delete the onPull_to_refresh event. Finally, I'll also need to delete the usePull_to_refresh input parameter as well. This should clear all of the warning messages in the TrueChange window. At this point, we have a screen layout that only contains a bottom bar menu. Now let's apply this new layout to a screen in our application. I'll close the Common UI flow for the moment and expand the main flow so that I can access the screens. Then I'll right-click and add a new screen using the right-click option menu. This new screen is based on the default layout. If I click on the module properties, you can see that we're using the app layout theme and that theme is based on the Common Layout theme. If I wanted to choose my new layout to be the default layout for all new screens, I could choose it from the drop-down menu options here. However, my objective is to apply this new layout only to certain screens in my application, so I'll leave this as the default for now. Next, I'll apply my new layout to the new screen that I've created. First, I'll rename the screen to Photo Viewer. Once I've changed the name, I'll open the screen and then switch to the widget tree. In the tree, I'll right-click on the Common Layout block and then delete it from the screen. Now, I can drag and drop my new layout to the screen and it will become the layout for this specific screen in my application. On this new screen, only the bottom bar will be visible based on my new layout. It's important to note here that this layout is specific to this application. For architectural reasons, it's not a good idea to try to share this layout with other applications. For this goal, we'd create another custom template, which is covered in another lesson. As a recap, here are the steps to create a new layout. We start by copying and pasting the layout block in the Common UI flow and give it a new name. Then we change the new block considering the structure of the layout that we'd like. Finally, we can apply the new layout to new screens by deleting the old layout after creating the screen and then dragging and dropping the new layout to the screen. If you want to make the new layout the default for the entire application, change the layout property for the app's theme to use the new block that you just created. Be aware that screens already existing in the application will still use the old layout, so step 3 should be applied to replace the old layout by the new one. All new screens will use the new layout by default. Keep in mind that while editing a layout block, you should follow some rules to keep it compatible with special features of OutSystems. The containers with the class layout, screen, and content are mandatory. Also, the placeholder with the class main content ensures native scroll and properly adjust content to the device size.